A blessed day to each one of you. Welcome to our series in which we discover practical ways that we can find in the Bible and apply it in our daily lives. In today's lesson, we are going to talk about power tool, or we'd say power tools. When I say power tools, what comes to your mind? These things that can really help, and I would say provide necessary assistance to make things easier in our lives. When you say power tool, well, for me, basically, I would think of a jackhammer. Probably you have seen one, especially on the roads where it makes their life easier. Just imagine, hitting the cement or anything hard or the concrete with a hammer. But this power tool, this innovation that we have today makes the work easier. Well, not just the jackhammer, we have also these electrical drills that we use to, bore holes on our walls or screw things up. Well, this is a power tool. It makes life and work easier. Just think about this, buying a cabinet from any shop and then assembling it yourself and then just using, just your old screwdriver. How long would it take you? But if you have this power tool, it's gonna take you minutes, enable for you to build this cabinet. Well, it helps us. This is how the tools work. Well, it's not only the drill, I would say, but also we have this toothbrush today. We have toothbrush with machines or motors that, it helps in cleaning our teeth. So I would say it's a power tool because, it saves time and it can really rotate fast. It's interesting. Another power tool that, for men, this is what we have, or maybe most of us have, it's the electric shave. So just imagine from a thin piece of blade that we used before, now it is something electric. It's faster and it saves a lot of time in shaving. These are powerful tools, or I would say these are power tools that we can find. But it's interesting that we as human beings, we are built in such a way that there is one particular tool in our body that is very powerful. And you know what tool is that? Well, it is no other than our tongue. Our tongue is a power tool in the Bible. And listen to this. In Psalms 52 verse 2 it says, "Your tongue is like a sharp razor." Well, shave, razor. But it continues by saying, "Devise wicked things and crafts treachery." Wow! It's not something positive. Your tongue is like a razor. And also in James chapter 3 verse 8, it says here, "But no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil full of deadly poison." We have this power tool, but it cuts like a blade. It's restless, and as what James says, it is evil. Now, sometimes we will think for ourselves, so how can we move on with this? What are we supposed to do? Sometimes when most of us in our time today behind our computers, I hope that we will have the same prayer as this guy here. It says here, "Dear Lord, give me strength to bite my tongue and also my keyboard keys." Well, sometimes we have been keyboard warriors, or we are very vocal in social media. To continue, it says here, "Is there anything we can do about it?" There must be something that we can do. Power tools are meant to make our lives easier, to make our lives more productive, to make things, not to break things. This should be the purpose of a power tool. Our tongue is a power tool. It is not meant to do bad things. It should be meant to do good things. Now, what can we do about it? Of course, we go back to the Bible and discover the practical ways that we can find. First, in James chapter 3 verse 13, listen to this. It says, "Who is wise and understanding among you? Let them show it by their good life, by deeds done in the humility that comes from wisdom." Here is a very practical example that we can find in the Bible. We know that our tongue is a power tool, but here James says, maybe we can just keep quiet for now, but let our action speaks. Do the good things, and not just doing the good things, we must make every motive a motive of humbleness. It is not of pride. When we do these things, my friend, I believe you that yes, we are going to use our tongue, this power tool later on to good news. Here, Josh Billings says, the best time for you to hold your tongue is the time you feel you must say something or bust. That is a very good point. Just like what the book of James says, it must be in our action. So in other words, if you are facing a circumstance in which that you are given that option to speak or not to speak, according to this advice by Josh Billings, it's better for you not to speak. Just be there, take it in, and do something positive out of it, instead of reacting in a negative way, in which early on in our study we discovered that our tongue, yes, it is a power tool, but this tool is like a razor blade. No, we don't want it to be a razor blade, but rather we want it to be used to good work. To continue, in Colossians chapter 4 verse 6, it says, let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. This is wonderful. This is practical. When we speak, we must make sure that it is seasoned with salt. You know why salt? Well, imagine a food without salt, that would be blunt. Our words are like that. When we use our words properly, it will become a savory thing that people would enjoy. So my friends, I would like to advise you that if you are in a situation that you wanted to speak, it's best that we think before we speak. Remember that, think before we speak. We'll go back to that in a while. In Proverbs 16 verse 24, it says, pleasant words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the bones. Pleasant words. So our words should be pleasant. It should be sweet. Earlier it should be seasoned with salt. It has something to do with our lives today. That when we talk, when we impact people, we impact them in a positive way. So it should be sweet. If it's needed to be sweet, it should be salty when it's needed to be salty, but it is always on a positive note. Now, I said earlier, think before you speak. There's this famous acronym on the word think. It says think. T stands for, is it true? H stands for, is it helpful? I stands for, it is inspiring. N stands for, is it necessary? And K stands for, is it kind? So when we are in a situation that you wanted to speak out, think first. Think stands for, is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Or is it kind? So remember, my dear friends, we have been given a power tool. We could use it to break stuff, or we could use it to build stuff. And that's the power that is given to us through our tongue. But today, I would like to encourage each one of you. Use this powerful tool in a positive way. Instead of building walls, build bridges. Using your words, seasoned with salt, that it may be also beneficial to those who are listening. God bless and stay safe.